This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and far. We keeping the foot on the whoop. Neeks. We keeping the foot on the whoop. Neeks. And like the Tibetan mastiff that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? Eat bursts pipes. Let's talk about it, man. Andre Ward is not playing. SOG is tired of cinnamon dust of a horchata of an Alvarez. And I don't fucking blame him, man. I'd be sick and tired of cinnamon dust of a horchata too. Listen, man. This guy is a fraud when it comes to boxing. And I get it. Andre Ward is sick and tired of this dude. Andre Ward wants to prove a point. Stop propping up a guy who's clearly overrated. Andre Ward will embarrass the shit out of cinnamon dust of a horchata of an Alvarez. Cinnamon dust of a horchata does not want Andre Ward to come out of retirement. Do you know that Andre Ward always wanted a Triple G or a cinnamon dust of a horchata of an Alvarez on his body count? He couldn't get Triple G because Triple G ducked him. Let me explain the difference between Andre SOG Ward and cinnamon dust of a horchata of a fucking Alvarez. This is a guy that Triple G called out blatantly. Triple G was not afraid of him. But Andre Ward, Triple G was reluctant. Andre Ward, Triple G was afraid. Andre SOG Ward, Triple G was petrified and scared. Because he knew real recognizes real, man. And he knew the levels, he knew the gears, and he understood. That's why he looked up to Andre SOG Ward, because he knew that Andre Ward would beat the shit out of his ass. Embarrass the shit out of his ass. Because he's seen Andre Ward do it to guys like him so many times. I'm telling you guys, man, when I look at cinnamon dust of a horchata of an Alvarez, I see an overrated fighter. I don't see a guy that's what people crack him up to be, man. I see a cinnamon dust of a horchata of a fucking Alvarez. This guy fights paid to losers. He fights wounded animals. He fights cherry pickers, man. He fights basically guys that only do 6-week training camps. He fights guys that are in boxing judging gifting decision clauses, man. Rehydration clauses, catch weights. This guy does it all, man, when it comes to anything that's going to be in his advantage and anything that's going to be in your disadvantage. Let me say it again. Anything that's going to be in his advantage and anything that's going to be in your disadvantage. This is the staple and the pedigree of the delineation, the distinction, the gulf, and the separation between Andre SOG Ward and cinnamon dust of a horchata of a fucking Alvarez. You don't want that free smoke, man. Because SOG is willing to get out of retirement, something that I know he wasn't trying to do. But if you see he's aching to do that, you see that he's itching to do that, you see that he's anxious to do that, it's because he wants to prove a fundamental point. That your rabbit ass is not what you're cracked up to be, and he knows he can expose you. Andre Ward is so good, man, that cinnamon dust of a horchata of an Alvarez will get exposed on so many levels. Because this guy fights in spurts. You can't do that against Andre Ward and his impenetrable inside game. Andre Ward's inside game is so fucking flawless, man. He will expose cinnamon dust of a horchata in so many ways. And you can't drop Andre SOG Ward because you don't got the power to do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is a whole different game. This is a thinker's man. This is a guy who knows every aspect of boxing. He measures the inches and the distance very fucking well. And there's nothing that Andre Ward don't do that ain't fucking great in the boxing ring. He's an unofficial airfield fighter. And this man is willing to get out of retirement to expose you because he knows he can expose you. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? On the Higgs. I keeps the foot on the what? On the Higgs. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.